Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Watty's channel. As you can see behind me, I pretty much raped the shelves once again. I'm finally getting back to the what's up with insert toy line here videos. So a few months back, I did an episode about Ram Treasures, and this was supposed to be an ongoing series, but for whatever reason, I just never got around to making any more videos. So I intended to do original San Francisco Toymakers next. Again, with the whole plumbing issue with the flood in the basement, I just never got that opportunity. And then the way I set my figures up, I guess I didn't really want to take them off the shelf. But I finally pulled all those box sets off the shelves, and I'm finally getting ready to pull these figures. So I'm not gonna do like a whole backstory or anything like that. As you can see, the shelves right now. If I were to sit there and talk about each individual box set, this would probably be like an hour and a half, 2 hour video. With the amount of box sets, I still actually see it being like a 30-minute video, to be honest. I mean, every time I say it's going to be a 15-minute video, it turns out to be like a 35-minute video, so I'm not going to try and shortchange myself. So I'm going to estimate about a 30-minute video. And, what's up with original San Francisco Toymakers? In this case, what's up with reutilizing the same figures over and over again? Not just the same poses, but sometimes even using the same color scheme. I might have to switch around back and forth. It's not going to be a review, series by series. I'm basically just going to pick up a particular character and just kind of show you what I mean as far as a different series reviews. So, as an example, this one I believe is Series 3, the Giant. So, you get the Giant as a Series 3 release. Something I didn't even realize until maybe a year ago or so. Apparently, you got to be clean shaven in order to be considered a good guy, or you got to have facial hair in order to be considered a bad guy. And here is, I guess they've been considered the Series 4. So this is like the heels versus faces. And here, they have baby faces. Or this would be considered the faces release. Limited edition, Series 2 for faces. The exact same figure, just released on 2 separate cards. And I'm just going to kind of kneel over here because I'm not even going to sit on a chair because there's just so many massive figures. Alright, let's grab these right here. In Series 1, we had the 2-pack of the Nasty Boys. This is actually one of my all-time favorite figures. And here's the thing. Original San Francisco Toymakers, since I started collecting this line, they have easily cemented themselves as one of my all-time favorite collectibles. They're just behind Hasbro and LJN, among my favorite. And they actually have some of my most expensive collectibles as well. Great figures. I mean, just slightly smaller than LJN. So if you really wanted to, you technically could wrestle these with them if you wanted to. Yeah, the size difference might make it a little bit frustrating, but it's doable if you wanted to. And I really like the graphics of the box sets. I really never looked at packaging before, but the box sets, they really do it justice. I like them a lot. So, in Series 1, then in Series 2, they kind of moved to Purple Card. And Purple Card, you had what I call Nasty Boys Orange. And you're going to see this a couple times. So, with orange as the backdrop, or with the change of the color to orange, much more expensive than you would find with the other set. The other set, you're probably going to pay, I don't know, anywhere between $70 to $100. And then you're probably going to come up anywhere between $100 to $200 for this pair. Maybe even $225, $250. It's very possible. I think these might be my second or third. Well, I actually like these the best. I think the orange are probably my favorite. Great color. The exact same figures. They never change the backdrop. So there's really no point of, showing the back of these boxes. Regardless of what series you're looking at, they never change the back. The pictures always remain the same. Same exact series. We're not even, at Series 3 yet. We're still in Series 2, still on purple card. And what are they doing? They're re-releasing the Nasty Boys. So as you know, Hasbro... Actually, no. Because I think original San Francisco was around 1994. So maybe Hasbro still had the contract at the time. And maybe Mattel or Toy Biz had the contract with WWF at the time. So Galoob, or the people that ran Galoob, had started a new company, and they created original San Francisco Toymakers. So they're the ones who were in charge of, the WCW releases of the action figures. And I get it. You obviously want your biggest superstars to be released. But kind of looking at the different stars that they selected, given the fact they kept releasing the exact same wrestlers over and over again, I kind of felt like they were only contracted to release certain wrestlers. Because you look at like Hasbro, for example, you had over 90 wrestlers or over 90 figures, and probably 75 or 80 of them or so were different, approximately. So with these figures, you probably have another 60 or 70 or so, and probably 10 of them are different characters. So that just goes to show you just how often they reutilize these figures. Again, beautiful box sets. Love the color scheme. Amazing figures. I just wish that they didn't keep doing this over and over again. And I would love to actually sit down and redo this over and over again, but they didn't stop there. Because back in Series 1, yep, we're going a step back. They didn't just do black on dual card. They also had a single release of Nasty Boys on single card. Back card, no different. And I do not have Brian Knobbs, for whatever reason. But then you come to Series 4 with baby faces, and they move them to yellow. You'll notice on here Jerry Sags with a Brian Knobbs name tag, and same thing, Brian Knobbs with Jerry Sags nameplate at the top. So these nameplates, or these error cards, very common, but I don't know if that necessarily makes them more valuable, but still, it's nice to have as a collector. And after 10 years, I think we're finally done with the Nasty Boys. Alright, so let's move on to... Well, this one's a 2-pack. We'll go with this one. Sting. 2-pack of Sting and Hulk Hogan. And I believe... No, this wasn't the first one. This was the first 2-pack I acquired. And I think this right here is what got me infatuated with the actual packaging of original San Francisco. The Red Trunks Series 3 Ric Flair was actually the first packaged original San Francisco figure that I acquired. And he's the whole reason why I started acquiring these figures on card. But I absolutely love the packaging. Love these figures. They look absolutely amazing on card. That right there is about a $75 to $100 figure. And then in Series 2, re-releasing them, Hulk Hogan is literally the exact same figure. And Sting, all they did was change his pants. So now you're going from like a $75 to $100 box set and increasing it to about a $350 to $400 box set, just like that. Maybe you can luck out, find it on auction one day, forget about $200 to $250, but with Me and a seller worked it out, and I think I got it for about $3.15 or something, you know, as a purchase price. But man, this was crazy. And I think the only reason I was so eager to purchase this at the time is because I missed out on the dark-skinned Jimmy Hart carded figure. So that one will not be part of this collection, sadly. But God, I tried paying a fortune on that, and I missed out, and I was so disappointed. So that's both of Sting and Hogan. And sticking with Series 2, trying to see if I have another Series 1. Yes, I do. So, Series 1, Sting with blue pants. And then 2 releases of Sting in Series 2. I think the pink pants was like $150, $250, some crazy price. I mean, anything on purple card I think is like crazy expensive. If you're trying to collect these figures, anything in Series 3 is going to be relatively inexpensive for the most part. I mean, I'm not talking like $10 or anything, but in comparison to the other series, if you're collecting these, Series 2 is really where you're going to spend your massive amount of money. Alright, so, the Hogan figures. So we looked at Hulk Hogan from the first box set, and this was the Hogan kind of from the 2-pack. This is him on single card. Alright, sticking with Hulk Hogan. Another 2-pack of Hogan and Macho Man. So this is a fantastic Hogan figure. I love the look of the figure. Just not very playable. It's just a display figure. Macho Man, same thing. Display wise, looks great, but aesthetically, maybe not as great as I'm giving it credit for. He would act as a playable figure. I think I actually did put him on my list of 10 worst action figures of all time. It's just not a very solid figure. And, you know, that exact same Hulk Hogan was released around Series 4. And was this, yep. And he was released as a bad guy. This was the Heels card in Series 4 and limited edition for Set 1. But in Series 2, so the tag team was in Series 2, and he also got a Series 2 single card release with a different color scheme. And you remember the custom LJN for my Hulk Hogan? Well, that's the color scheme I was going off of. So, awesome piece. So, and here was the Macho Man version of that Series 2 tag team. Again, getting rid of the black and white and giving him some color. Play-wise, terrible. Right up there with, you know, Rick Rude and Ron Simmons among the worst figures ever. Yeah, this play-wise, he deserves a spot as one of the worst figures of all time. No doubt. I mean, if you got Ron Simmons and if you got Rick Rude on there, there's no reason why you can't put that among the list of worst action figures. Come on. Terrible. Alright. Well, here's a good one for Sting. Let me backtrack a little bit. I don't remember which one this came from, but these are part of the vibrating figures. I would say that this was like Series 5 or something. So this would be like Sting and Lex Luger. And got Sting's accessory with the baseball bat there. And then both Sting and Lex Luger released same series on single card. And then you've got Diesel and Razor Ramon aka Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, on dual card. So them both in red, and then them both released in different colors on single card. So we're gonna ask, what's up with original San Francisco Toymakers? Why does it keep doing this? I feel like I'm missing a Sting set here. Because we look at so many different Sting figures, and I don't remember coming across these particular Sting, and I know we probably did. There's just way too many figures, but I mean, just the fact that they've got a 2-pack of Sting here, and you know what? I may still have it on the shelf over here. No, I'm pretty sure I pulled them off, and we probably looked at it already. But here, again, here's another Sting set. Great figures. I love the different color scheme on here. Aesthetically, this is probably one of the most beautiful looking box sets. Okay. Alright, Jimmy Hart. So this is the one I'm talking about. In Series 1, Jimmy Hart had his regular, white skin release on a yellow suit. They also had one where they misprinted or gave him a wrong color, so they printed him with dark skin. And I actually found one on auction one day, and I just kind of typed it into a search in eBay, and miraculously, there it was. And you know me, I pretty much live on eBay. I pretty much spend every waking hour, every single day on eBay. So, and I actually came across one. And for a couple days, I was a leading bidder, and I think once it got to about $500, I think I had to tap out. And then I just, said to myself, you know what? I am never going to be able to find this figure again. So I bid up, and I kept bidding. I think I got to like $700 or $800, and it was there for like a day. And I figured, you know what? I'd throw in like one huge price, like $1,000. Maybe someone will bid it up to like $900, but there's no way anyone's gonna bid to $1,000. No one's that crazy. But then I'm like, you know what? Maybe someone's gonna have the same mindset as I would, and they're gonna bid up to $1,000 just to, or maybe go a little bit over, because maybe they're thinking that I'm thinking that nobody's gonna go to 1,000. So maybe they'll bid like 1,050, something like that. So I bid like $1,115, some number, random number like that, and I think it went up to like, it sold for like $1,290. I lost out on the dark skin Jimmy Hart, and did I really want to spend an entire month's mortgage on an action figure, a little tiny action figure? Come on. This figure is like what, this Jimmy Hart, because he's so tiny, this one's like 6 inches tall, maybe 5.5. Imagine spending $1,300. I mean, with taxes and then shipping thrown in, probably because of the cost, they probably would have charged you some kind of insurance or something. So that $1,300 with everything else probably cost you like $1,600. Man, that would have been insane. But what a collector's item for this. But Series 1 Jimmy Hart, light skin, original. I don't have the dark skin, sadly. And the re-release in Series 2, much more valuable, of course. That one's probably like a $15 or $20 figure on card. This one is like a $75 to $100 figure, depending on who you're buying it from and when. The original San Francisco line is just so amazing, and sadly, not as many people out there are big, avid, original San Francisco collectors. And so you go on so many people's sites, and so many people are selling these figures, and they're selling them for pretty large prices, but there are no buyers out there for them. So, and it's sad. I probably have a number of figures that I probably would sell, but I can't ever sell them myself because, again, nobody's interested in these particular figures. Um, this one I have to jump on. So, Series 1, Ric Flair. One of the better figures, absolutely. Also one of the most common figures. So this is Ric Flair with purple trunks. Even though some might argue a type of bluish, but I'm going to say purple. This one is also a Series 1 Ric Flair. But pay close attention to the trunks, because this is like a light blue, sky blue type of trunk. This is probably, if you know, think just behind the dark skinned Jimmy Hart. This is probably the rarest figure in the original San Francisco line. This one set me back about $600. So a severely deep priced figure. I absolutely hated having to pay that price. Again, I lost out on the Jimmy Hart figure and I had to buy something. So right after I lost out on that, I was so angry. I had to add something of significance. So I went for the 2-pack of the dark skinned, or the dark pants Sting variant with the Hulk Hogan. That 2-pack, and I added this. So that was like $900 between those two packages. An awesome piece. This is one of my grail pieces I talked about in one of my past videos. What are my 5, keeps, must-haves, things I'm never going to sell. They're going to stay with me absolutely forever. I have to sell everything. What are the 5 things I'm going to keep forever? This is one of my grail pieces. In Series 2, much more common. I've ended up with a few of these, but still a very valuable piece. Depending on who you buy it from, when you're selling, or when you're buying, you can get on auction, if you're a seller, anywhere between $75 to $125 for this item. But again, if you're a new seller and don't have enough hours, you're probably going to get about $25 to $50 for it. But this is a very valuable piece, one of the more valuable pieces out of Series 2. The green trunks version of Ric Flair. And out of Series 3, one of the more common, again, pretty much anything from Series 3 is going to be very affordable. This is more like a $15 to $20 figure, essentially. You might get $25-$30 for it, but I think around $20 is more reasonable. Red Trunks Ric Flair, the very first carded figure I ever purchased. Oh, now this one is also kind of like a purple, but I would say more like a purplish blue. We could call this one dark blue or navy blue or something. So this is Heels Limited Edition Set 1 from the Heels and Faces. So I've been calling this like Series 4 type of deal. So we got 2 from Series 1, 1 from Series 2, 1 from Series 3, and 1 more from Series 4. So crazy amount of figures for Ric Flair as well. And one of my favorite wrestlers, even though he may not be the most agile, that's okay. From Series 1 and Series 2, Big Van Vader. Once again, the man, it's the exact same figure. They just keep releasing, and same card, backing and everything is identical. Series 1, black cards, to Series 2, purple. The pose for a big guy, it's adequate. It's playable. It's kind of like the Warlord LJN pose, so it's serviceable, especially for a bigger figure, so you could definitely make use out of it and get some enjoyment. We're hovering around 30 minutes, so I'm trying to get through this a little bit faster. And then the Series 1 and Series 2 of Sullivan. So Kevin Sullivan, I'm knocking some stuff over. A smaller figure, kind of like Jimmy Hart, maybe just a shade taller. I don't know. nothing too special there. And then Mark Merrill, aka Johnny B. Bad. Series 1, $20 figure. If you're looking at the Series 2, which took me forever to find, it's like a $50 to $75 figure. The Johnny B. Bad figure, kind of like your Lex Luger from Galoob. Absolutely horrendous. I despise this pose. Looks great. I mean, aesthetically, this is a fantastic looking figure, but the pose absolutely kills it for me. Display-wise, again, fantastic, but you guys know how obsessed I am with my poses. Now, these are probably the best figures in the entire collection. Pose-wise, fighting-wise, the Harlem Heat figures, I mean, I don't know anything about Harlem Heat, but the figures themselves, to me, are the most enjoyable. And they got so many versions. And here is your first batch. Again, about $100 to $125 figures on card. If you luck out in auction, you might get them for around $60 or so, but yeah, I don't even see these figures on auction anymore. But the Series 1 tag team. And then you shoot ahead to Series 2. Crazy expensive red outfits. You're probably doubling or even going up 2.5 times in price. Probably around $250 for this. Even, maybe even $300 possibly. Really expensive. Again, if you're lucky and get them for around $200 or less, count your blessings. Great figures. Red version. Awesome. Continuing from Series 2, you got Harlem Heat with blue jumpsuits. They keep going up and up with every color change. They keep going up and up. Still hovering around $300, even more. I actually had to when I finally found these, and I found them for an adequate price, not affordable, but me, having the compulsions that I do, I have to get them regardless of price because, the urge is going to kill me if I don't get them. So, and if I can't complete my collections, I think I got them for about $300 or something, or somewhere in that area, and I had to buy them from an English seller. So I got them somewhere in London, and finally able to get all 3 colors. So awesome. And then from Series 4, Heels and Faces, as part of the Heels line, you have which one's which. So even though it says Booker T on this one, I've been told, or I've heard from other people in comments, that Booker T is actually Stevie Ray, and that the Stevie Ray figure was actually Booker T. But on all the boxes, they do have them listed the same way, so I don't know. I'm still going off of Booker T is the one with the right arm up, and Stevie Ray being the one with the left arm up. If I am incorrect, guys, feel free to correct me. And so I actually did have that one Sting figure I was telling you about, and it was hidden behind the... So this was the Sting figures I was talking about on 2-pack. One of the figures was hidden behind Harlem Heat. So that was the 2-pack, and here was the single-pack release of Sting. That was like... I don't know, that was not that crow. I mean, what do they call this crow? Or call that Sting. You got the Crow Sting, and then you got the Wolfgang Sting. Man, this is gonna be hectic to try and put these figures back in order the way I had it. I literally had to pull almost every single figure. I had no idea. It was crazy. So, what's up with original San Francisco Toymakers. I don't know why they did it like that, but yeah, guys. I mean, this is an ongoing series I want to make. Hopefully, the series ain't gonna take no 3 more months to make another video like this. The last time I made an original San Francisco video was almost a year ago. When I made a review of each series, video by video. So I didn't want to kind of spread it out over multiple videos because it wasn't supposed to be a full-on review. It was just basically just as I presented it. Just kind of look at each figure and kind of showing you guys why I'm kind of frustrated with this line and why they, asking the question, why did they make their figures like that? Why repeat so many individual wrestlers so many times? Why couldn't they add additional wrestlers to the line? What, at the very least, or additionally, why couldn't they have changed the poses of the wrestlers? Why did they release the same wrestlers even if they changed the color scheme in the same series? Things like that. So many questions, so very little answers. Hopefully you guys got a kick out of seeing the different figures from original San Francisco. If you are interested in picking up that line, me personally, even with all the duplicates, I still highly recommend it. It may be a very expensive line, sure enough, but to me, it was definitely worth collecting. And is it going to be worth anything in the future? I don't know. I still think they're fantastic figures. And like I said, just behind LJN and Hasbro, I think they are probably, in my opinion, the third greatest set of action figures. I think they're amazing. Well, everybody, thank you so much for watching. And I look forward to talking to you in the comments and seeing you in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.